Roman Reigns, MJF, Gunther, Jay White. These are names of some of the top heels in the wrestling industry. But what if I told you none of these men is the best? Enter Dominik Mysterio. If you give me just 5 minutes of your time, I will tell you why Dominik Mysterio is the best heel in wrestling today. At Clash at the Castle 2022, Dominik Mysterio would kick Edge in the nuts and nail his dad with a clothesline, turning heel in the process. He officially aligned himself with the Judgment Day the following Raw to a chorus of boos, and he hasn't looked back since. As a babyface, he was the definition of floundering. He wasn't doing much of anything aside from regularly getting beaten into submission by now mommy, Rhea Ripley. Guess he liked that one too much, huh?
Bruh.
There were some bright spots when he was teaming with his dad, but it got stale real quick. In order to make it into the business, he needed to find that edge. And that leads me to my first point. Dominik's main reason for turning heel is because he was sick of living in his father's shadow. This gives his motivation a more personal spice because there's some real life truth to it. To this point, I kept referring to Dominik's father as his dad, but that dad he turned his back on just so happens to be the greatest underdog babyface of all time, the legendary Rey Mysterio. Now we as fans love Rey so much because we gravitate towards his biggest little man attitude and how he had to fight harder than everyone else to get to the top. The same cannot be said for Dominik Mysterio. To us, he's still that kid we saw in the front row watching as his dad fought for his custody. To us, he's just Rey Mysterio's son. What makes Rey Mysterio so endearing and relatable is the same thing Dominik lacks that makes him so hateable. And that is what leads me to my next point. A lot of third-generation superstars suffer from the stereotype of being handed the opportunity just because of their bloodline, and Dominik is no different. It's no denying that Rey had a hand in getting him his first contract with the WWE, which is what makes Dominik a more detestable heel because he acts like a young, self-entitled, ungrateful asshole who only got his opportunity because of his beloved father, who he constantly berates and abuses on live TV.
Because at the end of the day, I should have been Eddie's son.
The next point is about character. To be the best heel, you have to act like one and commit to it. Dominik has portrayed his character to perfection so far, and his pairing with mommy Rhea Ripley as like a Wish version of Eddie and China has elevated it even further. His ex-con Dom shtick even added more depth to his character, as it is both one of the funniest and most annoying thing I have seen on TV. Dominik himself said it best on a podcast interview he had with Conan, saying, "I felt like I had just more options and more variety to play with as a heel. I did feel a lot more comfortable. Dominik plays his character so well that I cannot and would not want to see him become a face again." There's a saying, if you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. Dominik Mysterio has the ability to make you believe he's the best wrestler in the world, even when he's not, or that he did hard time in prison, even though he was there for like a day, because he's so committed to his role that we as fans just accept it. Heels like Roman Reigns and MJF have a lot of credence when they claim to be the best, because they're that damn good in the ring and have the accolades to show for, so they've earned our respect. Dominik, on the other hand, is still pretty green on the ring and doesn't even have a lick of clue what success is, other than that one time he won the tag titles with, you guessed it, his dad. One measure of being a great heel is how much fans want to see them get their comeuppance from the good guys. And yeah, I cannot overstate enough how badly we wanted Rey to beat the crap out of his own son. In his short stint as a bad guy, he has already mastered the art of annoying fans by simply doing this and this and an excessive amount of this. It also helps that he probably has the most punchable face in wrestling right now. To be the best heel, you have to get the loudest reactions from fans.
Let him talk!
And there is no better example of this was when I was watching the 2023 Elimination Chamber PLE. On that night, there were only two men who got the most heat with the Montreal crowd. One is Roman Reigns because obviously he's facing a Montreal hero, and the other one is Dominik Mysterio. The fact that he isn't even in the match shows how much going away heat this man has. There's a difference between heels you hate to love and one that you just love to hate. And I think Dominik Mysterio is the latter, which is why he stands above the rest. And that is the end of the video. I know some of you might not agree with this take, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. Till the next video, peace.